Day 7, something that I have just recently tapped into as a huge source of wisdom is intuition. I tend to be the kind of person that loves logic and critical thinking and science. Actually, some of my favorite classes in college were logic and critical thinking classes. So I really am just a very, I think, naturally cerebral person. I want to think things through, I want them to make sense. I tend to sort of overanalyze things if I'm not careful. And one of the things that I learned through my journey of starting to trust myself was how to really tune in and listen to my intuition. Because at the end of the day, when you're trying to reason your way through life and logic your way through life, yes, there is a place for all of that, for sure. But if you stay there and you sort of abandon your gut instincts, too many influences can get in the way of what it is that you really feel to be right. We all go through life with a certain idea of what's right and wrong, and everybody's idea of what's right and wrong is different for them, right? I don't necessarily want to go surfing every day, like many people feel is just like something inside of them that they must do. I don't actually enjoy being in cold weather, where some people just feel called to live in mountainous areas that it snows all the time. Those are just like really surface level examples, but one of the things that I do as a life coach is I help people to come to their own conclusions of what is right and wrong for them. So I help them discover what their values are in life. We all have different values. After I help them discover their values, we then discover, what do those values look like played out in your life? And so we create this vision. And what I want to try to be careful of while we're creating a vision, while you're creating goals for yourself, while I am making plans to achieve things that I want to achieve, those things are all there. Those future visions are all there just to help you to stay focused, right? But in your day-to-day life, you have to empower your intuitive wisdom, okay? So if there is confusion of like whether or not you should stay in a relationship, or whether or not this job is the right one for you, or whether or not you should start breaking things off with your friends, or all the different confusing situations that we find ourselves in day to day on our way to our vision, we need to pay attention moment to moment to what our body is telling us, what our heart is telling us, what our gut is telling us. Because you can't reason your way only through life. You can get lost up here. There's so much going on, so much input, right? You're getting so many things coming at you. New books you're reading, new ideas you're having, new relationships you're forming, people telling you what they think their opinions are. But the beauty of your intuition and the beauty of your gut instincts are that those come from inside of you, and those are unchanging. That is the wisest part of you. And there's nothing anyone could say that changes what's really right for you inside. So, yes, build yourself a plan. Yes, create a goal for yourself. Yes, figure out, what is it that I really want out of life, and be able to clearly define that and say it. But as you're going through life, trust your gut. Trust yourself and know that if I really listen, is this truly right for me? Is this relationship that I'm in going to be the one that makes me feel all those values that I need to feel, that I know I need to feel? It's kind of like a balancing act, right? Like planning out your life and planning out, speaking out the vision and creating that system of action steps to take for yourself with feeling your way through it. So it's a whole lot of calling out and claiming, making sense of all these things that are floating around in our head, mixed with what's going on in our hearts. It's an alchemy of both. It's a perfect combination. You can't have one or the other and end up somewhere that feels totally in alignment. You have to combine the two. And I will say this, when in doubt, trust your heart. What feels right? Try on both options if you're having trouble making decisions. Try on both options and see what actually feels right for you. You know, if I were to choose this, how would my body feel? And it's that place inside when you close your eyes and you drop in, it's that sort of space that's very, very quiet. And what's the first thing that pops up naturally? Finally, when you start clearing your mind, what's the first little bubble of feeling that comes up for you? Yes, no, I'm not ready, this isn't right for me. You know, what's the first thing that comes up? And oftentimes we ignore that first thing that comes up when we try to reason our way out of it because it feels uncomfortable to trust our gut, to trust our instincts. So we try to, come up with reasons for it. Like, okay, well, if that's the case, then, well, it seems to be okay, but it's not doing that much harm, or whatever reasons you come up with. When you're able to really follow your heart and trust your intuitive guidance, you'll notice that it is the first little thing that comes up usually. So that's all I have to say for now on day 7. Let your heart be your guide. Listen to Jiminy Cricket. Okay, bye.